Huh? Tainari, what are you doing here? Where's Kalei?
I came to check on Kalei's condition. To put it simply, she's not well.
You mean she's sick? How could she be... Oh, wait a minute. Could it be because of what Paimon did yesterday?
No need to worry. Something as small as you could never harm her. This sickness is something that Kalei has been dealing with for some time. Kalei has been more excited than usual since you two arrived. A little too much so, to be honest. She hasn't remembered to take care of herself. I suppose it's understandable, though. She hasn't been around anyone she considered a friend for some time now. It must have been refreshing for her to have you two here.
So, Tainari, what's really wrong with Kalei?
Let's take this conversation elsewhere. Kalei just fell asleep after taking her medicine. She needs some peace and quiet. All right, let's continue our conversation here, shall we? To be honest, I hadn't realized that you're that honorary knight from Mondstadt until Kalei told me just now. I've also heard all about your deeds in Liyue and Inazuma. So, just to clarify, what I'm about to tell you about Kalei is not because of who you are or your past feats. Instead, I am going to tell you because... well, because Kalei asked me to. And honestly speaking, I was against Kalei revealing her past to you. But she insisted, saying you two treated her with sincerity and as a friend. So now she wishes to reciprocate the gesture.
So, Tainari, what exactly is wrong with Kalei? You said this is something she's been dealing with for some time. Just how serious is it?
Right. Ever since she was a child, she's been afflicted with a disease called Elazar.
Elazar?
Yes, it's a disease unique to the lands of Sumeru. It is characterized by dark and hardened scales that form on the body. At first, the afflicted may only feel mild numbness on the affected area of the skin. However, as the disease progresses, one may begin feeling fatigued and even experience peripheral paresthesia. In its final stages, the disease strips a person of the ability to control their own body, and they effectively become completely immobile.
That sounds terrifying. Wait, hold on. So when Kalei seemed to be acting a little clumsy earlier, it was because...
Correct. That would be the effects of Elazar, which is precisely why I do not want her carrying or holding anything, lest she ends up hurting herself. With appropriate treatment, the disease can be effectively controlled before it progresses to a more serious stage. However, there is unfortunately still no true cure for Elazar. Nevertheless, Kalei's mother still hoped that there was something out there. She handed Kalei over to an organization known as the Fatui after one of their members lied and said they had a cure.
What? The Fatui?
Ah, it appears you are already familiar with them. That'll save me some explanation. Anyway, the person who eventually rescued Kalei and brought her to me for care said that she had been given to a harbinger known as the Doctor. I have no idea how this doctor managed to do it, but her case of Elazar was completely stable for all the years that Kalei was with them. However, Kalei's days with the Fatui were anything but pleasant. Kalei is a resilient individual and always tries to know that she's sorry for hiding her illness.
She doesn't need to apologize. None of this is her fault at all.
Well said. I hope you'll get a chance to tell her that in person the next time you see her. Kalei once thought that it would be impossible for her to have any real friendships. I trust that you two will never let my trainee experience such emotional pain again.
Don't worry, Tainari. We'll take good care of her.
Well, it's not too serious at this point. She overexerted herself the last couple of days, which is what led to her breakdown this time. As long as she has taken her medicine and gets plenty of rest, she should get better. Though, I must admit that Kalei's condition was much more stable when she first arrived here in Gandharvaville. She was interested in the work of forest rangers the moment she saw us. I'm afraid the long-distance patrols are a little too much for her now. All right. Now that I've told you about Kalei's past, I think I'll head into the rainforest to find some ingredients needed for her medicine. I'll see you two later.
Yeah, we'd like to do something to help Kalei too.
All right, but I must warn you two. The rainforest is a dangerous place, especially for someone who's still recovering like the Traveler. You must follow closely and listen to every instruction.
No problemo!
Let's go then. We'll be looking for a plant known as Lunar Lotus. It's often used to help those afflicted with Elazar recover their energy.
Hey, Tainari? Where exactly are we going to find this plant?
Lunar Lotus can be found all over the rainforest, but it often grows right here around Gandharvaville.
Given the name, it sounds like we should be looking for it in the water.
You are correct. Lunar Lotus grows in the water. When fully mature, they look like giant blue flowers floating on the water's surface. Quite an attractive species, if you ask me. The large petals are actually the plant's leaves and sepals, which surround a very small flower. You should note that many of the plants found in Sumeru have names that are contrary to their species. Take the Kalpalata, for example. The plant is not a lotus at all, but rather a vine. And then there's the Sumeru rose, which is not a rose, completely contrary to its name.
Oh, okay then. Note to Paimon, never bring up the topic of flowers with Tainari.
There should be lunar lotuses growing somewhere in this area. Let's split up and begin searching. If you could manage to gather 4 of them, that would be sufficient. We'll rendezvous here once you've gathered the needed amount.
Alright, we've gathered enough Lunar Lotuses. Let's head back to meet Tainari. Hey Tainari, we found the lotuses you requested.
Let me take a look. Good, very good. These are all excellent quality. I'm quite glad you two came along. Your exploration experience helped save me a lot of time here. It seems we even have enough time to stock up on some other things I need.
Hey, Tainari!
Oh, Tainari, someone's calling your name. They're dressed like a forest ranger.
Ah yes, that's Amir and the others. But didn't they just set off not too long ago? What are they doing back so early? Let's go find out what's going on.
Tainari, thank goodness we found you here. We were just about to head back and find you at Gandharvaville.
What's going on?
We just discovered a Withering zone.
The Withering is back? But the patrol route you were on should have been already clear just a week ago. It reappeared so quickly. Can you tell me the exact location?
It's up ahead, deep in the river valley. It's appeared in a spot that blocks nearly the entire...
And the radius of the contamination?
Sorry, I couldn't get a clear enough view to tell.
No one in our patrol team had a vision, and it appeared to still be spreading, so we didn't risk getting any closer.
Okay, I understand. You made the right decision. I'll go deal with it right away. In the meantime, please guide these two back to Gandharvaville.
Wait, Tainari, why don't you let us help you?
You two have only just arrived in Sumeru. You're still unfamiliar with many things in these lands. There's a unique type of anomaly that occurs in the Sumeru rainforest. It's called the Withering. The affected areas not only cause nearby vegetation to wither, but it's also lethal to wildlife and even people. If you don't carry a vision, then you should think twice before approaching such places.
Yes, Amir is absolutely right. I wasn't kidding when I said the rainforest is a dangerous place. As Amir said, only someone with a vision, that is, the power to manipulate elements, will be able to resist.
That's right. If any of the forest rangers without a vision come across a withering zone, we first make a record of the location and then have a ranger with the proper abilities deal with it. Like, only someone with a vision can venture within a withering zone and find a way to deal with it. But you don't seem to carry a vision.
Don't worry, he may not have a vision, but he's a real pro at using the power of the elements.
It seems the rumors about you are true. In that case, all right, you two may accompany me. We typically only teach visitors how to identify the Withering as they're about to leave Gandharvaville. We'll make an exception today and show you what it looks like up close.
Let's dance.
Stop. Don't move any further. Look there in the distance.
Huh? Where? Oh, look! Oh, Paimon.
That is the Withering. All right, traveler. We're going to have to enter that Withering's... Thank you. But I must warn you. Don't... Even with elemental... You ready then? Let's go. First, we must locate any branches sustaining the Withering zone.
Scatter! Yeah!
Great work. Now that all the branches have been cleared, we'll need to take care of the tumor.
Burn! Germinate! One with nature. Wind strike.
Now, destroy the tumors of the Withering.
We did it!
Yes, thanks to you two.
Tainari? You make it sound like we did well, but why does...
It's that obvious, huh? Recently, the rate at which the Withering Zone appears has been increased. If that simply meant war work, for instance, even though this presents a crisis and most disturbing...
Huh? But why's that?
I'm still not sure of the exact reason. No, none that we know of. The Withering has been recorded in Sumeru for millennia. By the way, have you heard of Irminsul before? Irminsul is a tree located deep beneath the surface. I'm sure you've heard of ley lines, right? They're like the roots of Irminsul. Ley lines can... The Dendro Arc... And as for the Withering, its emergence is related. That's right. My ancestors learned of this from... I'm afraid we Rangers will be battling the With... All right, that's it.
Time to go. Into the wind. Propagate!
Let the show...
That's close enough.
One with nature. Clouds hide. The birds call.
I'll protect us.
I see through you! That all you got? Need a fight? Looks like I went too far. Feels well done.
Unfortunate fault.
The wind knows me.
Propagate! Where do you think you're going? I'll be back.
Go, Barbara, go!
Oh, Tainari, you all made it back. How did it go?
The withering zone you reported has been taken care of. No need to worry. Huh. Wait, is that? Oh no, Hypatia!
Huh? What's wrong, Tainari?
This Duskbird is Hypatia's designated courier for urgent news. You do remember her, don't you? She's the scholar you and Paimon were following when you first arrived in Sumeru.
Oh, her? How could we forget?
Let me see what's written in the letter first.
So what's it say? And what's with that weird expression on your face? Huh?
Yes, allow me to explain. After we brought you from Hypatia's cave to Gandharvaville, Hypatia resumed her meditation. She must have just finished. It's been nearly 3 days since she's had anything to eat, and it appears she's forgotten to prepare some rations. This letter is her asking us for help.
What? You mean she's been sitting there for 3 days? Hey, wait, how did you know all that from just a few lines on the paper?
Well, obviously because this has happened before. Last time she drew 5 lines, and by the time we found her... Well, I'd prefer not to remember that. Needless to say, Hypatia's been through worse, but we should still... I've got some emergency
Wait, you want us to...
Let's find out. Here. So, how do you feel?
Huh? Really? But, wait, how'd...
Back when we were clearing the Withering Zone, I observed that he could adeptly manipulate the Dendro element. I knew then that he would be fine. And if I may ask, when I was telling you two about Irminsul's ley lines, was what I described similar at all to what you saw while you were unconscious? That's correct. Those weren't hallucinations at all. Though, because what you saw is of significance. My forefather